Other interesting political news, you have Democrat Representative Jayapal saying our country was built by Somalians, as well as Latinos. And interesting, she seems to be going viral. Now, this is credited to thanks to End Wokeness on X. And he says, quote, Representative Jayapal, Democrat, says this country is built by Somalians, as that's becoming a big cultural and political topic in the United States is the Somalian refugees coming here, and you're having a very much increase in rate in which women and children are being hurt in the worst possible way. So I try to keep the vernacular moderately family friendly. This is also, again, credited to MSN, I believe it's MS Now. Yeah, this is a representative of Pramila Jayapal.
The majority of Americans across the country, regardless of political party, know that immigrants from all over the world, Somalia, India, wherever they're from, Latin America, Africa, that immigrants have built this country and make this country what it is today.
Yeah, not all. Now, again, historically speaking, we've seen a different demographic change to immigrants past hundreds of years. In terms of who built the country, well, a lot of those were the Irish, back in the day. And again, there's been a huge shift, politically speaking, when it comes to immigration. Again, my family came here from Cuba. Well, my mom, I wasn't born yet, but as an instance. And again, we actually took an airplane. It's one of the last airplanes that left when Fidel Castro took over. Didn't swim. Beat you in the comment section, didn't they? But again, we came to the United States when there's pretty much no government handouts or benefits. We came here, or again, they came here, learned English, worked like hell, adopted the American values, learned about the founding fathers, waved the American flag, and they became red-blooded Americans and contributing members of society. I think right now we're seeing a huge discussion around immigration, partially because of the open border policy under the Biden administration, but also you're looking at the cost fiscally and culturally. One of the biggest topics, thanks to Matt Walsh, is the proliferation of Somalis being immigrated in the United States. The average taxpayer cost is $1.1 million per Somali. Again, as an average, some contribute to society. Some of them pay taxes, federal, state. They are entrepreneurs. Again, some of them, we're talking, again, for the sense of these discussions, we're talking about averages. And she's saying our country is built by these folks. And again, that is partially what America was when, back in the day, people came here when there's nothing. It used to be, you come here, the government would just say, hey, we have so much land. If you just go out there, explore it, and make it secure and safe, we'll give you some. And again, that's some of the greatest exploration stories of history. And we needed to build out the whole infrastructure in the United States. There's nothing here. When the founding father, when the United States, when the country was first founded, or North America was first discovered, they did not even have the wheel here. So there's a lot of things that need to get done, obviously. And again, throughout history, immigrants are the backbone of society in terms of coming here, learning about America, the founding fathers. Some of the best entrepreneurs in history are folks who came here and, built businesses that changed the world. One of my favorite books is actually, let's see here. I think it is just called Papa, or John. Is it John Papa? Where is it? It eludes me at the moment. It's gonna drive me crazy. Where did I put that book? Trying to see where the entrepreneurs are. There's retail. Where on earth is it? Oh, that's not it. My ADHD is oh shucks. I think it is literally just called John Papa, but I was reminded by that because John Papa John, the founder of Papa John's Pizza, described his grandfather coming to the United States, what was it, over 100 years ago. And back then it was a huge risk. There is nothing here in terms of government handouts. There's nothing here in terms of a support system. You risked everything to come to America back then. It was literally a treacherous journey. And you came here, you worked like hell, and you achieved greatness. Nowadays, there's a lot of benefits, and even more abhorrent in some states. More benefits are given to illegals and, again, some legal immigrants than U.S. veterans. Like, California spent like $80 billion on housing for illegals and not even $80 million for illegals, $8 million for homeless veterans. I think the discrepancy is why so many Americans are upset, especially now. There's also a lack of assimilation. They're waving their own flags. Minnesota, which I purposely mispronounced as a slight to that weak and conquered state, they're so weak and conquered, they changed their flag to look like Somalia's flag. Because again, they've imported so many Somali refugees. They've also stolen $1 billion in fraudulent tax benefits over there. And she's saying our country is built by them. Again, some of that is true. Look at history. Again, some of the best founders and businesses on the planet were started because of immigrants. But they came here illegally. And it really was a risk back then. It was a treacherous journey. And there's nothing. Now, I think a lot of Americans are very upset. Again, the average American could barely make ends meet. And you see folks coming here, they're getting, $750 per day room vouchers in New York. They're getting free phones, free food stamps. And a lot of people are just broke. I mean, a lot of people are barely making ends meet. They're seeing people come here and get everything for free. And they're seeing more and more people take their jobs as well. That's another kind of cliche thing in terms of history, but there is a truth in terms of some immigrants do displace some jobs. I think that's another point of contention in terms of why it's becoming a more political and cultural topic past couple of years. Now, this was originally posted thanks to Johnny Maga, getting about 175,000 views and 1.6 thousand likes. One of the first comments comes to David Santa Clara, who says, quote, "Who better to speak for majority Americans than Squints Pramila Jayapal?" Getting 515 likes. Planet Meme says, "Why isn't Somalia a first world nation?" Getting 171 likes, which they do have a football stadium. They got that going for them. Amelia H says, "Diversity sucks," and she has a quote from Joyce, who says, quote, "Diversity isn't your strength. It lowers your wages, marginalizes your culture, increases your crime, fills your hospitals, occupies your housing, ruins your schools, consumes your taxes, tightens your laws, restricts your freedoms, endangers your children, and calls you racist." Getting 56 likes. Let's see here. She says, "High time," and she has a map that says, "Let Somalians go back to Somalia and make their country great," getting 49 likes. But then who would elect mayors in Minneapolis? Alzupa says Jayapal was born in India, getting 55 likes. David Sullivan, I'll respect his pronouns. His pronouns are prosecute Fauci, says, quote, "I think she means white people didn't let them destroy it." And it talks about the history of, making sure when the white Europeans moved here, they stopped things like child sacrifices and such. Darth Powell says the F it was, America was 80% European over 200 years, 1776 to 1980. In 361 likes. Crazy Flicks says, quote, "America is not a nation built by immigrants. America was built by settlers. There's a difference. Settlers ventured out into the wilderness to build a civilization from scratch. The modern immigrant comes to a place that is already built. Settlers planted the seeds. The modern immigrant comes to eat the fruit. If you cannot see the difference, I don't know how else to explain it." Getting 508 likes, which, pretty apt metaphor. Emeka says, "Shut that up, bitch." And she shows one of the most famous photos from the 1920s, but this gentleman sitting on when they're building a skyscraper, and they're sitting on one of the iron beams, no safety gear, not a care in the world, and they're, white guys, back when men were men, smoked a pack a day and ate steak every night, and still was not morbidly obese. Getting 228 likes. Let's see here. Logan Hall says, "Allow me to explain your country's identity to you and how it includes me." It's I don't know who the character is. It's one of the musicians from Star Wars, getting 223 likes. Crazy Flick says, "Why would 21 Democrat-run states refuse to hand over SNAP data if the illegal immigrants aren't receiving any benefits?" Getting 178 likes. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Heck, Trippy Troy has a picture of Santa, and he has a bag full of Muslims, or miniature Muslims, and it says, "All I want for Christmas is Santa to deport the Muslims," getting 95 likes. Oh yeah, here we go. Construction worker at the Chrysler Building in New York City in 1929. This is credited to Info Battle Maiden, saying whites built this nation. "This is what happens when you let foreigners in your government. They try to take credit for everything you did, all to subvert your way of life."
There's a machine at the sign. Yeah.
1929. Not a care in the world. President guy can move it all, those balls of steel. He's literally on a skyscraper. No safety harness. Nothing. Just sitting on a beam. Jeez.
Can I shoot it this time? Yeah. Now the structure. There's a machine at the sign. Yeah, she's on now. This is local 6. 1, 3, 4. Go ahead. Check on a job here. How much steel is there? Well, it's 23,000 tons. Quite a bit of steel, isn't it? Yeah.
Crazy how much more efficient they were. Not the tools, but in terms of like building stuff. Now, granted, there's a lot of regulation in the United States now. One of the reasons things take a long time. They got 247 likes. Jerry Labarge says, "Don't see Somalis here." That's one of the other iron workers, getting 10 likes. What? Darth Powell has an AI-generated picture of the Democrat representative, And it says, "Arg, Somalis built this country, arg," and it's a pirate. Getting 42 likes. And again, I'll probably have to dive into the data. I would be interested to see in terms of the statistics on, because again, for many years, they also look at the statistics on who starts businesses. Be interested to see kind of what that is within the Somali community. I also have Heartland Grump saying the United States was built by European Christians, full stop. We will not allow Democrats to rewrite history, getting 135 likes. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.